Hi everybody, thank you for joining me and welcome to this Reiki session for bringing a perfect attunement partner to you. So it's like a perfect partner, a person who is closely aligned to what your core values are, a person who understands what you need, a person who is willing to reciprocate, someone who has similar interests. I hope that this Reiki brings that person in closer for you. If you are a Reiki practitioner, please feel free to contribute. And if you have never done Reiki before, the way that it works is that you just need to accept it from the universe. It's an energy flow. It is a vibrational flow that you just are meant to accept. I'm not doing any healing. Nobody's doing healing. We're just accepting it from the universe. I have this fossilized algae stone, so I'm going to put that in my right hand, and then I have the mermaid wish stone here, and I'll put that in my left. So if you guys don't mind, we'll begin the Reiki session now. The Reiki session lasts about 10 minutes, and in the center I have the 8 of Wands, so that communication and love come into your life quickly. Okay? Thank you guys so much. I'll see you in 10 minutes. Let's begin. Okay, thank you guys so much for watching. This is a little shell for good luck. Please give me a like and subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. Talk to you soon. Take care. Bye. Follow me on Instagram. Thank you. And get my app on Android out now. Bye.